Hello, in this video you will learn how to set up Graphileon on AWS using an existing data store that also serves as an application store. You can run Graphileon on AWS in many different ways. This flowchart illustrates the different scenarios, depending on whether you already have a data store or not, whether you want to have your data store on AWS, and whether you want to combine your data store and your application stores. Once you have made these choices, the process is pretty straightforward, up until the point that you can log on to Graphileon. This video illustrates the simplest scenario, which is the case when you already have a data store on AWS and you want to combine it with the application store. Here on my EC2 dashboard, I see a running instance of a graph database. The graph database runs at this IP address, and since it's a Neo4j store, its browser opens at port 7474. To create a data store with some content, I'm first going to empty it, and then I'm going to load the movie graph that comes with it. Since Graphileon will run on the same account and VPC as the database, I will need the private IP address, the VPC and subnet settings. I will also need the Neo4j credentials, as well as the location where it runs. At the Neo4j end, I will also need the bolt port and the version that I'm using. To summarize, Neo4j username and password, version, private IP address and bolt port, AWS region, AWS VPC and subnet settings. The next step is to spin up a machine with Graphileon. I look up the free personal edition on AWS Marketplace. I subscribe. I continue to configuration. I select the region where my database runs and continue to launch. I make sure I have the correct VPC and subnet settings. I create a security group allowing access to port 3000, which is the port that Graphileon uses. And if I want additional security, I can add a key pair. Now I launch the instance. In my EC2 console, I can see the instance is initializing. Now I can access Graphileon using the public IP address. At port 3000. When Graphileon starts, it will go to the settings page. I authorized Graphileon to write, select the store, enter my private IP address, the credentials, and test the connection. I save the store settings and create a user. After I save the user, I apply the settings and I log on to Graphileon. When I run the default query, Graphileon returns the movie graph I loaded at the beginning. And when I go to the Neo4j browser, I can see the IA function nodes that Graphileon added. This concludes the process of installing Graphileon on AWS, which took just under 7 minutes. Thank you for watching.